I've never been the type to talk in front of people and give a serious speech, due to me being very goofy and talkative and very communicative. I can hold and keep a conversation and just, well, it's kind of hard for me to talk about something that's serious, and so. It was one time freshman year, I was a new kid, and I did not know anybody at all. Well, I mean, I had a couple of friends, but I didn't really know people. So I had to give a speech for the whole entire school, and I was so nervous, and my hands started shaking, and you can literally see the microphone shaking in my hand. And also, my hands were really sweaty, which made the microphone fell out of my hand, and I didn't know what to do, and it was just, since then, it's been really hard for me to talk to my people. Talking hasn't always been my favorite, but since then it's become so much more easier to talk in front of people since I took in this class. 1. The biggest success was the time machine speech with my grandpa. He holds a special place and is a very important person in my life and a role. 2. The biggest challenge was telling me about myself speech. I'm not one to tell about myself that much. And 3. The best advice was following the directions and being honest and thinking about what you're going to do to make your speech the best speech. Now, back to point 1. Being more open and mature and proper with yourself when you're talking to people and taking a risk and a change for a challenge in your life is a very good thing I did for my high school career. And so taking this class was very more of a big step in my high school career. Now back to my grandpa. Not being able to cry and talking about him in my speech was very, very emotional and moving for me because it was just a hard feeling spot in my life. And also just giving an important speech about somebody who's very important in my life. Point 2, the biggest challenge was telling me about myself speech. I'd rather show you who I am than tell you who I am. I feel like actions speak louder than words, and showing people who don't know me and I don't know them about myself is kind of nerve-wracking for me because I have trust issues and it's just not knowing what to do. But also, I think I was also nervous due to it being my first speech and not knowing what to expect and how to prove it to you on how I am and who I am. And also, just good impressions have always been a big part of me in my life. And 3, the biggest advice was following directions and being honest and thinking about what you're going to do for your next speech. Following reading the directions clearly and asking questions when you feel like you're doing it wrong, because you really are. Be ready to have a speech that is going to bring your life out and memories that you are going to not feel comfortable with, but you're going to have to because it's a big step in your life that you're going to have to take. And also, your friends are there to help you with your speech, so I think that's another reason why it's a good advice for next year. This class overall has changed me mentally and spiritually and due to the speech communication, not only for speeches or presentations in classes, it's due overall talking to people, holding conversation, and just my communication skills for the future. But overall, it has helped me for the person I'm going to become in the future and how I'm going to present myself at jobs, colleges, teachers, what I want to be, so I feel like that's a big speech communication skill that I'm going to have.